This video is going to teach you about scatter graphs. It's a really common exam type question. And so we're going to look at the main parts of the question that come up. So there's plotting data onto a scatter graph. There's recognising whether a scatter graph has positive, negative or no correlation. Drawing the line of best fit, the straight line of best fit through the data. And then how do you use this line of best fit if the exam asks you to. So first of all, point one, then plotting data on the graph. So the heights and weights of 20 children in a class are recorded. These results are shown on the scatter diagram below. So the thing to remember with a scatter graph is the reason we use one over any other type of diagram or chart or graph is because you can plot two things at the same time. So each of these crosses represents a pupil. We've got weight going up the y-axis and we've got height along the x-axis. So you can look at the relationship between the height of the pupils and the weight of the pupils because both of these parts of the data are shown with one cross. So we've got two extra pieces of information here. We've been asked to plot the following points on the scatter graph. So the weight is, we have 59 and 44, and the height we have is 150 and 143. So these two obviously represent another child. So I'll call that child 1. And this set of data represents another child, child 2. So 59 and 150. So 59 is the weight. So I'm going to go up to 59, which is here. And then the weight of that child is 150. I'm going to go up to 150. Now where these 2 points meet will be here. So I'm going to draw a cross. In the exam, use a ruler and a pencil to make sure that these two line up together, and be really careful about the units on the axis as well. So for example here, halfway between these two lines is 53, but the difference in the exam, it might be a difference of 5 or a difference of 4. The second child is 143 and 44. So 143 is here, and then 44 is here. So cross, so they match up there. So we've got these 2 points, and they've now been put onto the graph. So the second thing we've been asked to do is describe the correlation shown on the scatter graph. These are really easy marks to pick up. You just need to learn the 3 words. So as it says for point 2, we're recognising whether it's positive, negative or no correlation. So the way I remember it is that if we've got an upwards from sort of bottom left corner to top right corner direction, so if you were to sort of sweep your pen through it, I think that always looks a bit like a tick. So a very long tick. So tick I associate with positive. Negative would go the other way, so that would be when the crosses were going like in this direction. And I think if you're going to do a cross, you'd start with a line like this, and then you do a line like that. So if we get rid of that line, this is your negative one, like a cross, or the beginnings of a cross. And then no correlation would be if your points were sort of random. If they were all over the place, all over the graph, no relationship between them, you just say there's no correlation. So they're literally, it'll be 1 mark question, they're literally looking for one word, they're asking you to write down positive. Part 3 of these types of questions are asking you to draw a line of best fit. So we've put our 2 data points on there, which are still there. We've got our, we said it's positive correlation, so now it's drawing a line of best fit. Now really, again, a common mistake that happens in exams is that people feel like they have to start at 0. Whether these little zigzags here just to show you that we've sort of missed out a little bit of data here between 0 and 134 and between 0 and 30. People always want to start here and then they want to draw their line like that. Which actually for this one would be fine because you can still get your line to be halfway between the points. So you want half the points above the line, half the points below the line, and you want the line as close to the points as you can. However, this is not how you don't have to start down at 0. So if I just change the colour, so say for example the red points, this was our data, and you got asked to draw a line of best fit. Often people would think, oh right, okay, well need to start at 0, so they'll come from down here and they'll go like that, and they'll say, okay, well half the points are on the left, half the points are on the right. But that is not the way to do it. You want half above the line and half below the line. It's not left or right. So what you do in this situation is you'd start the line around here, and then your line would go through like that. So the line can start wherever you want it to start. It does not have to start at 0. That's just something that you need to remember. So this black line here is our line of best fit. And there's no right or wrong for this. In the exam, when they mark it, there'll be like a certain leeway, and as long as it's a sensible line, you'll always get the marks for it. So finally, we're looking at using a line of best fit. Now often that's the language they actually use in the exam. They'll say, use your line of best fit to answer this question. If they don't say that, if they just ask you a question at the end of a scatter graph question, that's what they're asking you to do. They want you to use your scatter graph to work it out. So it says, use your line of best fit to estimate how much someone would weigh if they had a height of 149 centimetres. So you need to get your ruler and your pencil, and you need to draw a straight line from 149, which is here, straight up to your graph, and then stop as soon as you hit your line of best fit. You then do a line straight across to the weight. So that should now give you a good estimate, because obviously, you know, we are only estimating. We don't know that everyone that's 149 centimetres will be a certain weight, but because we can see there's a correlation, that should be like that, because we can see there's a correlation between the relationship of weight and height, we can make an educated guess that if someone is got a certain height, there'll be a certain weight. So the answer to that would be, you just have to write down 53 kilograms. And if the question was the other way around, so for example, if they asked if someone weighs 40 kilograms, how much do you think they would, what their height would be, you just go the other way. So you'd go from 40, straight line across until you hit the graph, and then straight line down. So you'd presume that this person would be 140.5. So you'd say 140.5 centimetres. So you can go either way. You just look for the one that they're asking you about. So for this one it was 149. And then you go up and across. If they ask you to find out information about someone that weighs 40 kilograms, you go across and then down. And that's it. That's the main questions they'll ask you about a scatter graph.